Hey everybody, this weekend we're back home in Albuquerque, enjoying a beautiful overcast day out here, and we thought it'd be a great day to do a little bit of grilling and cooking out on the disco. We've noticed that a number of you have been doing searches on our website for disco cooking, and we thought we'd go ahead and cook some fajitas and show you how Joe Castaneda, the founder of Claude's, would do it, in which case he would actually use both the grill and the disco to finish them off. So today we're going to be using some skirt steak. Now you can actually use anything. This is just what we're choosing to use. Today it works out really good, and you'll see in a little bit after we get it cooked why. But you can also use chicken, shrimp. For all of you hunters out there, you can also use wild game like deer, elk, antelope. My buddy Darren is a big hunter and he swears by this stuff. So what we're going to go ahead and do today, we're going to be using our low sodium fajita marinade, which is actually just like our original fajita marinade. It's just got less sodium. All the spices, everything else are the same. What we're going to go ahead and do first is, I've already got one of the skirt steaks. We've got about 4 pounds of meat here, more or less, 3.5 or so. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put the other one in and take it like this. I'm going to put it in the bag. And then we're going to go ahead and pour the fajita marinade inside of it. Jackie's going to go ahead and assist me here so we don't make too much of a mess. Just pour it in. Always be sure to shake the bottle up really good because there's spices in there, as you can see here on the top, that we want to get in and make sure we get all of. So then after that, we're just going to go ahead and seal the bag up. First, though, we love how Claude's smells in this house. What do you think, Scarlett? It's some good stuff. So now we're going to go ahead and seal it up. We're going to let this marinate for only about 20 to 30 minutes because the kids are going to be eating it. If you let it sit a little bit longer, it's going to get a little bit spicier. So if you want them a little bit stronger, a little bit spicier, go ahead and let them marinate for about an hour or so, but we're not going to do it quite so long today. So we're going to go ahead and do this. We'll go ahead and get it smashed down, and then we're going to let it sit in the refrigerator for just a little bit, and then we're going to throw these puppies on the grill and go from there. See you in a bit. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and put the meat out on the grill here. I've got it on high. We're going to go ahead and do that just to sear it about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes on each side just to seal in the juices. And after that, we'll take it in, we'll slice it up, and we'll put it over on the disco. So we're going to go ahead and get it out here. Got the grill really going. Going to get it straightened out as we can. Get the next one. That'll be good. That other this piece will cook when we flip it over. So like I said, about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes on each side. Flip it over. We don't want it well done on the inside because it is going to finish cooking when we put it in the disco, and we'll go from there. All right, thanks. All right, so we just got the meat off the grill, so now we're going to go ahead and take it. It's fresh and hot off the grill here. We're going to go ahead and take it, and we're going to slice it up. Notice that the grain runs this way, so make sure that you always want to slice it against the grain. That way it won't be too tough. So we're going to go ahead and I'll just hold it like this. You want strips, cut it to your liking. It doesn't have to be too thin. When you cook this, it is going to shrink up a little bit more. Look at that, just perfect. That's about right where we want it. Still a little bit pink. It will cook a little bit more once we get it out on the disco. So we're going to go ahead and these are about good. If you want to cut it a little bit thinner, you can, but I think this is cooked pretty well. Go ahead and do this. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to cut them up like this. Once we get this all sliced up, we're going to go ahead and throw them out on the disco and cook them a little bit more, and then we'll throw in the vegetables and go from there. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is get our vegetables ready. Today we're using bell peppers and onions. If you would like to, you can actually add other vegetables. Some people like diced tomatoes, but this is what we normally do. So here we've got a red bell pepper. We've also got a yellow and a green. And Christy has already gone ahead and cut up a lot of these here. So you see we have a good colorful mix. We're going to go ahead and just set these aside. Some people like to go ahead and marinate them for a more robust flavor. but we're going to go ahead and just saute them with the meat, and then they're going to go ahead and pick up the flavor. Usually comes out really good, and that's just how Joe would do it. So we'll go ahead and get that going, and then we'll get this cooking here in just a little bit. So now what we're going to go ahead and do is we've already started cooking our vegetables in the disco. We got everything going in here sauteing. I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of the marinade that was left over from the meat, because it's going to help the meat stay hydrated, and it's going to help keep the vegetables from burning here. Let them basically saute just a little bit. All this is going to end up cooking down, so we're not going to end up with a whole lot of marinade left whenever we're all said and done. So I'm cooking on a 20-inch disco that I got from M&M Creations. They also made the burner. You ought to go over there and go check them out. I think we're going to have a link to their Facebook page here with the video. They make all kinds of stuff, including the spatula, or the shovel as they call it, and it works out real good. So what we're going to do is go ahead and let this saute for about 3 minutes or so. And after the vegetables get a little bit soft, we're going to go ahead and throw the meat in, let it all finish cooking together, and then we'll be good to go. Okay, so now we've brought our vegetables to a boil here. They're softened up just enough, so we want to go ahead and add our meat back in now. Note that we did pour in the marinade from the raw meat, so we did bring it to a good boil for about 3 minutes for safety reasons. So now we're going to go ahead and add the meat in, and we'll finish cooking it. So I'm going to go ahead, you see we got the meat here. We're going to add it in, we'll mix it all up. Okay, over here. So we've got a good boil going. This liquid is going to boil down. The meat's going to get in there. All the spices and everything else in the marinade are going to kind of meld into the meat and the vegetables, and it's all going to be one great concoction here. So I said about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on your taste. It depends on how well you want your meat done. We don't like ours cooked real well, so we're going to go ahead and just leave a little bit of pink in the meat when we're all done with it, and then we'll come back and we'll go from there. Okay, so everything is done. We've let it cook for about 5 minutes, and it looks beautiful. I tell you what, nothing looks better than all these colors in this disco here. We're gonna go ahead. We've already dressed our tortillas with some cheese, guacamole, and sour cream, and some Spanish rice. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a couple together here like so. Get a couple of pieces on each one. Make sure we get some of the vegetables. This. Make sure we get like so. And look at that. And you guys aren't here right now, but it smells wonderful. I got to tell you that right now. So Marty is going to go ahead and give it a shot and tell us what he thinks. Here you go, Marty.
That's good.
Outstanding.
So we hope you guys like this. We also are going to have a link to M&M Creations for so you can see all their discos and all their burners and some of the other stuff that they make. And also, if you go ahead and you subscribe to our newsletter, you also will get this recipe for free. So go ahead and give it a shot. Go ahead and click on the link, and we'll see you again soon.